everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be reading some 5-star predictions. Basically, I'm going to be seeing how much I can read over the course of like a week and a half and see if these books that I'm reading that I think will be 5 stars, if they're actually a 5-star, what I actually think about them. All in all, I read 3 books in this video and I found 2 new favorites and one was not a 5-star, so I was a little bit off in that prediction, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know if you have read any of these books in the comments below, and let's get right into the actual reading. Everybody, it is Friday night and I have a couple reading updates. Honestly, I haven't read that much over the past couple of days. I did just sit down and get a decent amount of the way through. I think I just read like 50 pages of Kate and Frida. I'm on page 140. I'm so enthralled by the story. I think it is so meaningful and so much of what they're talking about in this story can be applied to present day. I just think it is so rich in what they're talking about and the way in which they're describing it. I just am really enjoying this so far. I'm really honestly loving it. Have no other things to say. I have a feeling will be a 5-star for me. I started reading Sunrise on the Reaping and I am around 60 pages in. I honestly don't have too much to say about this just yet. I am definitely interested, definitely on the edge of my seat. I'm really looking forward to when the games start and getting to see everything that takes place during them. I honestly don't have too much else to say about this right now, but I just feel like recently I've just been getting really distracted whenever I try to read. I don't know, I just am going on my phone a lot and scrolling, and I'm really trying not to do that. I hate when I do that, but I just have been getting a little bit distracted. I'm gonna try not to do that. I don't really have anything planned for tomorrow, so I really want to read a lot. Maybe finish Kate and Frida and maybe get like not halfway through. Well, and maybe get halfway through the Sunrise on the Reaping. I also just cannot listen to audiobooks right now. There's just something in me. Can't do it right now. I think it's also just partly because I feel like I don't always give audiobooks my best attention. So I think I just feel guilty that I'm not giving them my most attention sometimes, or that I get distracted. I'm not listening to them right now. So we're going strictly physical, but so excited. Really enjoying these. Bye! It's Saturday night and I haven't filmed anything today, but I did get a pretty decent amount of reading done today. Went to the park and I read for like an hour and then I came home and I read more. Yesterday I was on page 140 of Kate and Frida and I'm now on page 200. So my goal actually is to finish it tomorrow. There's around 270 pages. So I'm really hoping, but so far I can definitely say that this is going to be a 5-star. I just am loving it so much, and just the way that they talk and the way that they're describing things just paints such a vivid picture when you're reading. Just such a enjoyable experience reading this. I was on page 60, Sunrise on the Reaping. My book's over on the couch, and I'm now on page 145. So I got decent also through this as well. Definitely think it is starting to pick up a little bit more now, and I can definitely tell that my interest is more peaked and I'm definitely wanting to pick it up more. I do think that in the beginning was a little bit, it wasn't slow by any means, but I just needed some time to really get into it. Also, I am loving the cameos. That is my only updates for now. I need to edit, so I'm going to do that for the rest of the night. My goal tomorrow is to get to page 200 of Sunrise on the Reaping and maybe finish Kate and Frida. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, it is Sunday and I have only read Sunrise on the Reaping so far today. I'm on page 185. I wanted to finish this, but I just don't think I'm actually going to end up finishing it. I'm hoping to maybe read a little bit more of this today. I think I'm going to bring it with me on my way to my boyfriend's parents' house for dinner. So that's all I have to say. I am definitely disturbed by some of what's happening in this. It's very just ominous. You kind of just see how like chilling some things are, things that they do. But overall, I don't have too much else to say. I just wanted to kind of update on where I'm at and what's going on. I'm really enjoying both of these so far. No complaints about either. See you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I can read some. Everybody, it is a few days later. It's now Wednesday, and I wanted to give some updates on where I'm at reading wise. I have been pretty busy with school the past couple of days, so I haven't had the most time, but also I did finish Kate and Frida. I absolutely loved this book so much. It is definitely now one of my all-time favorites. I just feel like I had so much fun reading this book, but also this book is told in such an interesting format as it is a series of letters. I think that our author Kim Fay does such a wonderful job of really distinctly creating two voices for our two main characters. Because you are only reading what they are writing, they do have very distinct ways of writing and kind of a voice and tone that they use within their writing, but it just really distincts the two. On the cover it says a book of friendship, food, and books, I believe, and it genuinely is such a capsule of all of those things. It is such a beautiful story. This book is honestly such an epitome of bookish people being in your 20s, how food is a form of identity, and strong female friendships, and I just absolutely loved everything about this book. I think that the writing, even though, like I said, it is in the letter format, is so rich and lush, and you really are just planted right into where the characters are discussing and talking about. They do such a great job of really creating a rich atmosphere that you're really able to be in as a reader. I think even though this book does take place in the 90s, so much of what the characters are talking about is so relevant to so many things that are going on today, and I just feel like that this would be such a great book for all women and young people in general to read. It was such a amazing story, and I just absolutely loved it. It is definitely a 5-star from me, and it is one of my new favorites. I just cannot recommend this book enough. But I am 200 pages into Sunrise on the Reaping, and I am getting very nervous. So far, this book has been such an interesting story about really just a lot of build up and discovering so much about what it was like, 25 years prior to when Katniss's books are going on. And you really do get to see so many cameos in this book, and I absolutely am loving that aspect of it. I really do think that the story is very interesting so far. The games are starting soon, and I just feel sick to my stomach. I am so nervous for everything that is about to go on, and prior to starting this I had forgotten what the arena was, and then I saw like a video yesterday and it like said what the arena was again, and I like jogged my memory. I knew once upon a time what the arena was, but I forgot, and I saw what it was again and I was like, oh my gosh. And now, like, knowing that, I just feel so nervous going into the game starting. I am very scared and interested to see what is going to happen. I do know how Haymitch wins the games, but I don't know who like the last couple tributes are. So very interested. I am going to try to finish this today. I don't have like too much else to do. I need to work out later, and I have a meeting with a professor, but that is pretty much it. So I really want to try to finish this today. I am very eager to see what happens, and I think after this I might start You Between the Lines, so we'll see. I will keep you guys updated on how this is going. I just read page 251 and 252, and all I have to say is that Suzanne Collins, you are sick. You are sick. I cannot believe you would do this. This is heartbreaking. And I'm very upset right now. Very upset right now. I have no words. This was so heartbreaking to read. This is my face reading page 323. She really said, no mercy? Hey, I'm upset. Hey, I'm really upset right now. Suzanne Collins. That was so not cool. I'm on page 366. I'm almost done, but this is genuinely such a heartbreaking book to read and to experience everything that Haymitch is going through. It is so sad. Suzanne, you're evil. That's the only thing I have to say. Hi everybody, it is a few hours later and I have officially finished Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I was correct in my prediction of this, and this was definitely a 5-star read for me. Growing up, I had always been really interested in the Hunger Games, and I watched the movies, but I didn't read the books until this year. And going into this, I was so excited. I always was really interested in all of the games that took place prior to Katniss and Peeta's. I didn't necessarily love The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so I was a little bit nervous going into this one, but I feel like I was more prepared in terms of I knew I liked Haymitch more, and I also was just really interested in these games. Throughout this book, I was very, very engaged, and I was just kept on the edge of my seat, even though I kind of know what the end result is. However, it was very, very interesting to see how we got there along the way. I did really love getting to see all of the cameos in this book. Had me on the verge of tears at the end. It was so sad, and Suzanne Collins really chose violence with this because she did not hold back. She was evil and cruel. I really, really enjoyed reading this. I will definitely continue thinking about this book and continue thinking about this series, and even, you know, while reading it, when I wasn't reading it, I was thinking about it and making predictions on how certain things would occur, and it was just such an interesting and engaging story. I really, really enjoyed it. So we have 2 for 2 so far with my 5 stars in this, and I am going to try to read one more book in this video. So let's go over to my TBR and I'll kind of pick one based off of what I think will be a 5-star. This is my physical TBR. All of these. So there's quite a few books on this, but I don't think that all of them will be 5 stars. I'm going to show you which ones I do think will be 5 stars, and honestly, the only 2 that I can really see myself maybe giving 5 stars. I have a Kristen Hanna book on here, but I'm reading it with my mom, and I'm gonna read it like slowly over the span of time. So the only ones on here I can see myself potentially giving 5 stars is You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman and Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I feel like either of these could be 5 stars, and I think personally I'm just a little bit in the mood more for a romance right now than another fantasy, like modern fantasy. So I think I'm going to go with You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman. Plus it is shorter, 355 pages, and this one is about 500 pages. And the text is quite a bit smaller. So that will probably take me a little bit to get through. So I'm going to go with this one. I am very, very excited. So we'll see. I'll start it tomorrow. I need to go to bed is what I really need to do. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hi guys, it is Friday. Happy Friday. But I didn't film anything yesterday. I just focused on reading. I started You Between the Lines yesterday morning, and I think last night I was on page 100, I believe, and then today I got to page 250, and there's around 340 pages, so I'm almost done with it. I'm hoping to either read more tonight or to finish it tomorrow, but I can already say that this is not going to be a 5-star. I already know, even just from how far I'm already. I don't necessarily think that this is a bad book, but it's definitely not for me. I think I'll probably end up giving it around a 3-star just because I think that our main female character is a little bit annoying, in my opinion. I feel like they're in a lot of books, not all, but in a lot, it feels like the main female character is like a chronic people pleaser. I don't mind reading that, but I think at the same time, it does get a little bit old. It's not my favorite thing to read. The other thing is that so far with our romance, I just feel like things happen and then don't happen, and things happen and they don't happen, and it's just like repeating like 3 or 4 times now, and I feel like to have it be repeated that many times, it's just, guys, come on. You're like 27. Can you be like an adult? Also, I don't really like poetry. When I bought the book, did I even read the back? No. I saw people talking good things about it, so I kind of just went based off of what they said. And I didn't really realize that they were going to be poets. I don't really like poetry. I don't really understand. And it's not even that I can say I don't like it, it's just that I don't understand poetry. And so for that reason, there'll be like kind of like include a poem and I read it and I'm like, absolutely no idea what this means, no idea what it's supposed to mean, which is kind of like what our main female character says sometimes as well. But even like her poems, I'm like reading and I'm like, girl, what? So I don't know. I really don't know. I will continue the book. I'll finish it. It will not be a 5-star, unfortunately. So at least I found 2 new 5-stars in this video for now. But I'm going to go make dinner and I will see you guys later tonight or tomorrow whenever I read again. Bye. I'm on page 292 of You Between the Lines. I'm almost done with it. I think I have around like 50 pages left, maybe like 60. I just feel like I really am just over the conflict that's in this book. In the relationship aspect, honestly, it just feels like self-sabotage a lot. And it also feels like just so repetitive. This is like the 4th or 5th time where they have gotten together and then like someone self-sabotages and now they're not together. I can only read that so many times without you guys being like, hey guys, maybe stop. And the other thing is they show her talking to her therapist in the beginning of this and her therapist like giving her advice and kind of being like, you need to do this for you. Basically don't people please and like be true to yourself. In this whole book, she's just people pleasing in the sense of creating work that isn't for her. It's like for other people and it's really, really played up at times in this one scene. And I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? So I think that I just am not enjoying our female main character, but I really, really like Will. I think that you can tell he really does want to be with her and likes her, but Lee is just getting on my nerves a little bit. I'm going to finish the rest of this now and I will give you my thoughts when I finish. It is a few hours later now. I have officially finished You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman and I have since done my nails. I've sat and kind of collected my thoughts. I also read some Goodreads reviews and just kind of wanted to see what other people were saying, kind of thinking about this book. I did see some reviews that kind of agreed with what I thought, but a lot of people loved it and I think it has an average of like 3.94 stars on Goodreads, so it's not a terrible rating on it. I honestly think I would probably rate this like a 2.75 to a 3-star. I just think that this story started out okay. I feel like you could really see the chemistry between our 2 main characters in the beginning, but as time went on, I feel like our main character Lee just kind of became a little bit annoying to me. I feel like she self-sabotaged a lot. And I feel like in a lot of books that I've been reading recently, there have been a lot of like people pleasers. I'm a pathological people pleaser. And I just think that sometimes I don't really enjoy reading about a character like that. Our main character, Lee, is a poet, but she, throughout the book, is kind of like, well, I need to write like this person because they're well received. Don't always enjoy reading about kind of an insecure main character, and don't get me wrong, everybody is insecure, but I feel like sometimes it's so overdone where I just don't want to read from that person's point of view sometimes. Needless to say, I just didn't enjoy always reading from her perspective. I really liked our main male character, Will, but I think I just didn't really enjoy our female main character, Lee. And also I think that throughout the book, it was kind of alluded to that, you know, she would have to grow and change, but it would have been nice to see more of that growth and change rather than the last 50 pages, not even 50 pages, where she's like, I should actually change. You know, I would have liked to see more of that gradual progression realization throughout the story rather than it just being so abrupt at the end. So I just don't think that this was a favorite of mine. It wasn't a favorite at all, but I just don't think that this was necessarily for me. But I'm glad that so many people liked it and enjoyed it. Or I think our tastes are maybe just a little bit different then. But from this video, I was able to find 2 other 5 stars. I read Kate and Frida by Kim Fay and Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. These books are definitely going to be in my heart forever. I absolutely loved Kate and Frida. My mom finished it today as well, and she also gave it 5 stars. So we both loved it. It was just such a heartwarming story that also talked about such very prevalent topics in our society around us today. And Sunrise on the Reaping just will probably constantly be in my mind, I'm not gonna lie. It just is such a thought-provoking book and provided so much backstory to a series that we already know and love. I think it's so interesting to get more information revealed about such a popular series and just really have so many connections and things make sense and be like, wow. This video was almost a success. I was 2 for 3, so not bad. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye!